Welcome back, Naysayer Nation, for another edition of the Aftershow Podcast. We got another crazy week in the books. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know if we're going to talk about every crazy thing, but we might pop into the breaking news that happened yesterday in the cultural war because it's ridiculous. We also got some breaking fight news, so potentially
all right, here it is.
Reaction.
Here it is. Sadot has not seen this yet. He wanted to know if it was a real NBA fight.
I would actually just get right into it. Okay. Not even getting. All right, so there's Nas Reed. Oh. That.
I think he just Nason Diffin Dante. I can't say his last name.
David DiVincenzo. No, that's a real fight.
I think it was Stewart. No,
Isaiah Stewart is always in some smoke. Oh.
Whoever 00 is.
Yeah, who's
see the way he just Nason him and pushed him away.
And DiVincenzo was not about that.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll get some better camera angles later. But
that happened just as we were going live.
I'll give that a 7, but it's got some potential based on some better camera angles. The cameras got knocked down in that area, but I'm sure there's some side views that got a better look.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, we got a lot to go over today. For sure, we'll talk about the historic chair stream that almost everyone watched. We got some new updates on the next Rocksteady Batman game that I'll complain about, and Jay will give his opinion on. Of course, we got Daredevil Born Again episodes 5 and 6 that aired. We definitely got a review and talk about those. I did a watch party for that. But first, what's up, chat? Old man Eastwood first. Gabe, what up? What up? Travis, the world's biggest Elden Ring fan. What's up, Marvel? Laquan, how's everyone doing? Thank you all once again for lending us your ear on this Sunday evening. Now,
I gotta show this. Since Travis is here, I gotta show this real quick. This is the greatest thing that I've seen today, right here. CM Punk holding the world title.
And his generals.
Yes, that also. So anyway,
the real reason Jay shared that.
Yes.
What's up, Lucky? Kanye interview. I forget Kanye is still around.
Mm-hmm.
He made solid points. I know that's cap. That man has lost his mind. Unfortunately, still makes good music when he's not praising the villain of World War II. But when he's talking, it's not great. But we got a great show. We'll start off with a shield segment. Mm-hmm. Big shout out to Ubisoft for hitting 3 million players in the first week of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I actually rolled credits on the game the other day.
I did too, finally.
On the main story. I'm literally I think I'm at 99 or 100 hours, and I finally got around to finishing the main story, and then I did the connected quest that comes right after that leads to the actual credits.
Yeah. I think I'm at like 102 hours, and I am 4 achievements away technically, but basically 3 achievements away from 100%. like basically the platinum trophy, if Xbox was cool and had something like that.
Oh, that's well, you lose about 200 points off your achievement by playing it on Xbox, so it doesn't count.
I'm hoping. Well, all right. First of all, I haven't been able to manually save my game since like hour 79. I have to like go back to the hideout and interact with the base thing that lets you change the base in order to auto save. So that kind of sucks.
You've been one shot on shell so many times. You haven't thrown your controller, but you got close. Sounds like a skill issue. I thought that would be Jay.
No, the only 3 achievements I need are, I think they're all Yasuke related.
Yeah.
Like sheathing your sword after doing something, and I don't know, 2 other ones that I don't understand, so I'm just gonna have to Google them.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I found that with Shadows, it's like when it comes to difficulty, because I play on expert, of course. It's either extremely easy, or you have to, or still extremely easy, but you have to be super locked in, because if you get hit once, you die. And that's which typically happens when because they don't like section off missions. You can like run into different bosses or like that just out in the world. So if you run into a level 48 enemy boss, and you're at like level 42, any attack they do will instantly one shot you. But it doesn't matter if you're Yasuke, because and build him right, because he is a god.
He's a monster.
He's the actual sort of god. Because I remember I did this side quest with Naoe, and I did all this traversing and everything like that. Got to in, because it was part of the Templar side quest, and I got the last clue, and the last clue was by this little campfire on top of this cliff, and that an enemy was sitting at.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
There's only one way to get there too.
Yeah.
And I spent like a half hour trying to figure it out. And it wasn't until I went down by the beach where I heard the kids talking.
Yeah.
Off. And I knew that they were both there because I was doing that quest anyway. But I was so annoyed. That is one of like my very few complaints about Shadows. At night, it is like ridiculously dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're in the forest, people would probably think your TV is off. Okay. And that is bad. I don't need that much immersion where like the lighting is that precise. Like, I'm playing a video game, for Christ's sake. I'm not out in the woods literally with no light. Okay.
I felt like that when I'm like out, when I'm like on a boat sailing during like a snowstorm.
Yeah,
because it's actually super realistic. Like, you can't see shit.
sure. No, and I could accept that a little bit more, but like,
and I usually don't. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm not usually in the forest at night, because I do a lot of fast traveling anyway. It's only dark when I'm like inside a base where it's lighted. But I haven't had that issue.
Another thing that annoys me is, I understand that we're dealing with candlelight and everything.
Yeah.
But like, when you go from outside to inside on, and even just being inside period on anywhere, it's just so like dull. And I feel like I understand that it's probably like realistic because it's only candlelight, but man, we're playing a video game and it's gorgeous. And I just want to experience like the inside of these pagodas, and like what they would feel like. And I don't feel like you can, because like you go in and it's just so dark. And I just feel like if it like, and this is not a necessarily just an Assassin's Creed Shadows issue, like a lot of games do this, and I hate it.
You don't want to do that. So they definitely play them. They definitely have them divided by clearly defined roles. Now, there's a way that you can fight, more aggressively as Naue if you build her right, but she's meant to be the more elusive type, and assassin type, and if you optimize her for assassinations, you can actually do some insanely broken stuff. But yeah, whenever I do try to get her in boss encounters, I usually have to try to cheese. But that one guy on top of the cliff, I was like, nah, this ain't helping, because usually when I'm fighting a boss that's above my level in that way, I use the Kusuragami and just kind of cheese it by swinging it, hitting them. But this guy was like had a couple combos, and he could close the distance before I could cancel the animation. So I'm like, and so I could have sat there and tried and just dodged him the whole time and hit him, but I was getting bored because I was doing so little damage because of how much over leveled he was compared to me. So I was like, you know what? Why am I doing this? I created a save. I had a save point there, and I just swapped it to Yasuke before I before I got to him. Walked over and fucking demolished him. he did he didn't even get to fight. like he literally did not get to. I remember at it's literally like that with every boss fight, especially on my current Yasuke build. I literally don't let them play the game. Like they can't attack, they can't do anything.
It is funny with Yasuke how like when I play mostly as Naue just because she's got the eagle vision and she just feels so light and easy to like. I actually try to sneak my way through everything, and the only thing I'm trying to do is assassinate the whatever they're called, the shoguns or whatever that are in each palace. You have to like kill 5 or 4 or whatever. I just try to like assassinate them and then leave everybody else alone. But yeah, the Piston players Ron Holland. I'm looking at another view of it too from the crowd. It's crazy. Anyway,
I just recently was playing around with a more assassin heavy build for Naue, because I have her tools like pretty much built to do like insane damage, and then I decided to play around with her shinobi skill tree that basically she can slow down time. Like there's no way around it. So I combined that skill with my existing I have a tool build. So it's because I have a piece of gear where you get like I think it was like 2% plus 2% damage for every point you put into the tool tree, and have the tool tree all the way filled up.
Right.
so that does crazy damage. So the tools, especially the kunai, do crazy damage. So I'll go through bases and I'll stop time, because the if you are doing assassination while time is slowed down, it runs out, because it as soon as you confront them, it's over. So instead, I sneak around, get a good angle, and then throw my kunai at all their heads, and and then I get to the last enemy, and then assassinate them. And right as I assassinate them, time resumes, and everyone dies from a headshot from the kunai. It's fucking so broken. And if there's an enemy that, like, there's sometimes an elite enemy that can't be assassinated, or doesn't, or I couldn't like immediate, like sometimes they'll have a yellow thing where you can't assassinate them. So I'll
just take a huge chunk of their health off.
So I'll take a chunk of their health off, and then I'll use the Tanto skill, which lets you do an assassination during combat. Just kill them. Just instant kill them.
My favorite thing for a long time is I had a whatever robe I was wearing had a perk where when you do an assassination, it automatically throws a kunai at the next nearest enemy.
Yeah.
And I just like loved that and abused that. I love the robe she gets after you like finish her story. It's like red. You get the red like kimono and
that's
hood.
That was pretty nice. I can't get over the white assassin's robe, so I just transmog because I'm using the robe. I'm using the robe that lets you vault over enemies by just running at them.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to transmog because I just love the white assassin's robe. So.
I used that for so long, and then I just started I'm like, you know what? I don't want all my videos to look like this, and I feel like a lot of people are probably doing this.
Yeah.
But I just literally, after getting that her final like assassin's robe, I unlocked another red robe that was a legendary, and I don't remember what it was called, but it actually is like even nicer than her assassin one. I like the assassin one because it has the assassin logo as like a belt buckle or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this though, like I became very attached to both characters. I think I really appreciate Yasuke's story the most. Naoe's is tough because like I don't think they did the best job finishing her story. Like I feel like the end of the game is a little bit like, oh, okay. But I do like that they left it open for a little bit more. I'm hoping that's what the DLC is.
Yeah, they're definitely left a lot open there. Yeah, I felt like Naoe started out really strong.
Yeah.
And but it was all kind of leading up to getting the box. And then once you got the box, it was just like, okay, well, now what?
Yeah. Yasuke's quest was fucking awesome.
It was fucking incredible. His was definitely better.
And the best part about it is like it's literally impossible to like watch that play out and say, why is he in this game? Because like the Portuguese literally tried to rule the world. We know they went to Japan, like, and everybody loved Yasuke's story when it was a white guy named John Blackthorne.
Well, that's the key.
You know?
If Yasuke was white, there would be no controversy.
Like nobody, it's weird because there's no controversy that the Portuguese are there or an integral part. And having Yasuke there makes so much sense because he came over with the Portuguese. And I don't want to like go too far into spoilers, but
we're
like
not going to do too much spoiler.
It is Assassin's Creed after all, and the age-old story of the assassins is their enemy, and there has to be a way for that to get to Japan. You know what I mean? Like it didn't just suddenly show up. You know what I mean? But I love. I mean, I know you get choices of like, are you going to be, ruthless or are you going to be benevolent, whatever it may be. And I always chose like the humble responses from Yasuke. And I honestly think he might be my third favorite assassin or part of the Assassin's Creed, like protagonist stories. Right. I think Ezio will always be number one. Like you can't. And then I think Cassandra from Odyssey is my number two. But Yasuke might be number three, and it's crazy because I would say I played it's like 80-20, Naoe to Yasuke, just because of the eagle vision. I like being able to look through the walls.
Yeah, I probably at this point it's probably 60-40 in favor of Yasuke for me.
And I don't mind, by the way, just like walking in and like just absolutely destroying people. Like it's fine.
That's usually how I do. That's usually how I do castles or certain castles, especially early on. I'm like, okay, with castle mission, like single target assassinations, I leave it to Naoe. But for like a castle, if I'm just trying to get through it, I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get through this real quick to us because I'm not sure if this gear set is even going to be good. So I just like, okay, Yasuke, you're up, and just murder. Just walk to the front door, murder everybody.
I hated Black Flag.
There's actually a Black Flag remake coming out.
Yeah, I hope they change the control scheme to the modern control scheme because I tried to go back. So the thing that happened with Black Flag is it came out right when Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out, and it got like trapped with Battlefield 4 for me. and I started it and like never went back because I got to like this one mission that I hated, and I was like, screw this, I'm go play some Battlefield, and I do not like Black Flag is honestly, I do not understand what people see in Black Flag, and it's even harder to go back to it now where the game plays so smooth and that game is so clunky.
Well, I expect them to definitely do some updates for the remake, and
hopefully. I hope it's not just like an upgraded graphics, you know.
And I heard, it sounds like it's a remake, so
good.
So from based on the leaks, so we'll see what that looks like. I think it's supposed to be out later this year, based on the leaks, and then after that we have the next mainline Assassin's Creed game is Hex, which deals with witches and magic. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. But I'll definitely keep playing through Shadows, getting more achievements, getting more. I'm mainly looking for more gear. That's what I do. Just exploring, get more gear, seeing different ways to play. But I'll definitely be back for more DLC because it's so much fun. I love the game, but now that I'm actually finished it officially, I'll probably finish Monster Hunter just so I could get that out the way because I was enjoying that too, and this AC Shadows just took over, so I want to have Monster Hunter done before the new season of Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I have South of Midnight, so I need to like start playing that.
I've seen a lot of South of Midnight, and I'm probably just not going to go there.
I mean, it's only on Xbox right now.
I mean, I could have gotten it, but it's just not for me. But I might tap in for Doom and
definitely Doom
and Indiana Jones for PS5 is dropping April.
I played South of Midnight already. I got to do like a preview, and it's pretty good. I mean, I don't think it's like gonna be like a game changer or anything, but I think it's gonna be a nice, fun, niche, game that a lot of people will enjoy.
I was streaming this when they premiered it at the last showcase.
I've seen it going around, but I didn't really watch it. I'm very excited for Doom.
It's like it looks kind of just it looks like it's like Watch Dogs, honestly. Yeah, it actually looks pretty solid. I think it might actually be pretty good. But the other game news we got this week was a small little update on Rocksteady's next game, which, to the surprise of no one, is Batman.
I mean, they backed him into a corner. Now they have to make it.
Yep. I mean, we kind of assumed this would happen when we found out that Rocksteady wasn't shut down after Suicide Squad. So, and then of course Jason Schreier further confirmed what we assumed with his great reporting on everything that happened behind the scenes at Warner Brothers. So it's officially right, and of course the CEO David Zaslav, already said and addressed that their new strategy going forward would be like release less games and just focus on Hogwarts Legacy, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, and DC, specifically Batman. So that's the first step there. Though in the case of Hogwarts, they've kind of taken a step back because they canceled the definitive edition. It was supposed to be like basically DLC. It was like from what I heard from the leaks, it was like 15 hours of additional content, and they were going to sell it as a definitive edition as well as separately as DLC. And for whatever reason, apparently they weren't confident it'd be worth the investment, so they just canceled it, which seems like a waste. But maybe they're going to repurpose it for Hogwarts Legacy 2, which we know is in development and is going to be multiplayer. So I mean, that's kind of the best case scenario I can think of that, but still weird that they didn't release it because I know it would have done well.
Yeah, something must have been going wrong there. I really like. there's so many people. Like, obviously, I've worked closely with WB over the years, so like, there's just so many people that I've met and that I really hope do well. Like, I know the people that I know that work there know what they're doing.
They weren't confident that the game that sold 30 million copies DLC was going to do. I'll tell you everything you need to know about it.
I mean, that's fair, but also I kind of feel like maybe shit wasn't going well. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, from what I heard, they just didn't have confidence in how much money would make them.
This is literally like, you have said so many stupid things before, but this might actually be the dumbest. Like, why would you want to shut down an entire company? Like, because like some of the people have made some poor decisions. Like, literally some of the greatest games that I've ever played, like literally my career is like from all those Lego games, I'm sorry, I want them to fix their shit and get better. Why would you ever want somebody to shut down?
Cabooses' career came from Injustice and Arkham and Mortal Kombat.
We love, the reason why we're upset is because we love these DC characters. We love those Batman games were so good. Like, I was never really a big Batman fan, but those games made me like Batman. You know what I mean?
And I think now is the time to buy low on WB, because Haddad, who we can point a finger now to why WB's game division has been falling off for since 2016. He's out. The new guy they have, I listened to him in an interview with James Gunn. He was saying the things, not just like saying the right things, in terms of like PR appeasing, but he was speaking in terms that make it clear that he actually understands the the business of gaming, which gives you confidence. And then James Gunn being there, proactively talking with studios and stuff like that on ideas and how it could weave in DC, that gives you more confidence in them going forward, because before they just had these out of touch executives who had no idea what the fuck they were doing, like calling shots and being impulsive. And now you have James Gunn who's developed a game, who put out a game himself, Lollipop Chainsaw, who has this big plan for DC. He's organized, and then they have a replacement for Haddad, who seems to like understand the gaming business a bit more. So I think they could definitely make a comeback in the future. We'll see how they'll get some momentum going. Wolf Among Us 2, if that's big, then there's some momentum there. I'm sure the Rocksteady Batman game will be good. I mean, there's going to be a lot of attention on Rocksteady internally after what happened with Suicide Squad. So I'm confident in this one. James Gunn has met with them, so I think that game is going to be very good. I mean, it's a Batman game. Like, people are going to buy it.
Yeah. I can't let this go. They are scum for what they did for the Nemesis system. Should be flat out illegal. So the thing that they own, that they tried, like, how bad it has to be for them to spend that many years building a game and then just say, oh, not only are we gonna like shut down like the game, we're gonna shut down your studio. Like, that was the second game that they got canceled. They were working on something else before Wonder Woman, and that got canceled too.
Yeah, Schreier. Schreier. So the Monolith shutdown, it was definitely a long time coming. I mean, it's definitely valid to criticize WB, because obviously what they did was incredibly stupid from every way imaginable. Like, you had a big hit with the Middle Earth game, game of the year, lot of money, everyone talking about the Nemesis system. That was the time to start licensing out the Nemesis system and to make more Nemesis system games, and seeing how much momentum you could get. Instead, they didn't license it out. they patented it so no one else could use it, and then and then when they were working on an original game, the execs interfered and said, "Oh well, yeah, we don't care about this original crap. Slap an IP on it. We don't care how good it is. We slap an IP on it. Game of Thrones or DC or something." And they were like, and they didn't want to do it because obviously they spent all these years working on this really groundbreaking, from what I heard, sci-fi type of game, and the execs were just stonewalling it because it didn't have an IP attached to it. So then finally, and were dragging their feet. And then when they finally canceled it, like the main people from Monolith quit WB and then went to their rival EA and started Cliffhanger, and now they're working on a Black Panther game. And whoever was left were pivoted to Wonder Woman, but at that time they didn't have leadership. They had a bunch of key figures missing. From what I heard, most of the people who were like integral to the Nemesis system were gone at that point.
Yeah.
So that's why Wonder Woman ended up getting taken so long and having to get rebooted, because they didn't have enough people familiar with the Nemesis system. So what closed down was mainly Monolith in name only.
Right. And it's kind of ironic though, if you think about it though. they got told to stop the game they're working on and slap an IP on it and said, "Nah, we out," and then went to a studio that slapped an IP on it. It's kind of funny if you think about it.
For sure, but I think it was the way they went about it. Like they were like, we put our heart and soul into it, and using this system that we created to make something fresh, and you guys just shit all over it because it didn't have an IP attached, a Game of Thrones or DC label on it. And so they start fresh at EA, and yeah, it is funny. Like, but it just shows, like, if you let them do their game, sure, if it wasn't a hit, then you could be like, okay, see, now we'll do an IP. But if it was a hit, you have a huge original IP under your belts, and then afterwards, if they want to, they can tackle a DC or whatever. But instead, you lose all that talent for nothing. and then they didn't even let the other people who were working on an IP game do their IP game, because we found out that they canceled the Constantine game, they canceled the Flash game just because the movie tanked. Like the decision making has to be studied.
Yeah, I think yeah, I really do feel like WB is absolutely dropping the ball and absolutely should easily be able to get out of this. Like literally just license a few characters and you'll get that free money. You can already see that they've gone crawling back to Fortnite.
Yep.
And like all of a sudden we're getting like all the WB stuff all the time. And that's good. That's fine. That's the positive steps. No reason not to do that. Mortal Kombat just kind of maybe teased that they're not done, or are they? We don't know. But
they're doing something.
That like I don't actually know it. Like somebody actually DM'd me earlier and it was like, dude, what's this with Mortal Kombat? Do you know anything? I'm like, I legit actually everything I knew is out at this point, so I don't know if there really is a Combat Pack 3 or not. I know at one point there was going to be, but from everything I've heard, that's been canceled. Normally by this point we would already be seeing teasers for that. But if their next game is going to be Injustice 3, like
100%.
We're 100%. No, Steven, I'm 100% being honest. Like I would love to sit here and act like I know more than I do, but I would never do that.
Yeah, he won't tell you what it is, but he'll let you know if he.
I'll let you know. I know.
Yeah, like that's kind of his thing. Yeah. So
So
100% they're doing it. James Gunn literally was, when he was talking about his plans for like future DC games and how he's doing a DCU game, he literally said he met with Rocksteady and he met with NetherRealm. So we know.
Yeah. So like I I really feel like the best step at this point probably. I mean, if they were already working on a Combat Pack 3, then by all means, just throw out a few more characters. You don't even have to do the guests if you don't want to license that. Just get a couple more. There's plenty of Mortal Kombat characters that aren't in the game yet that people are begging for. But yeah, we'll talk about Marvel Cosmic Invasion eventually, okay? But like, I think Injustice 3 is going to be do gangbusters. I think it's going to be huge.
100%.
I mean, that is the game that got me to start playing fighting games, and I know there's a lot of other people like me when it comes to that. So I really do feel like, and I feel like they were already kind of working on it. So I bet it's closer to coming out than we think.
I think that's definitely
I don't
possible. Yeah. I wasn't interested. I didn't really like MK1, but I'll definitely give Injustice 3 a try for sure. Even though I'm typically not, I'm picky with my fighting games, but I'll dabble in some Justice, at least for the story at the very least. But I'm definitely looking forward to the Rocksteady. According to the job posting, it's they're finally using Unreal Engine 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had a very interesting week, and it's whatever. I'll spend the V-Bucks either way. So I knew that, Scorpion, Raiden, and Katana were coming to to Fortnite, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta get the V-Bucks ready. I'm almost out. So I bought a $100 Xbox gift card, redeemed it, whatever, bought my V-Bucks, so we're good. And then I also tried to buy a $100 PlayStation gift card because Moon Knight was coming out, the Moon Knight skin and the orange Venom, okay?
Yeah.
And I was almost out of units in the game, so I was like, whatever, I'll just top off. The PlayStation gift card that I bought through the site I go through came up as already used. So I put in for a refund, which they actually issued within like an hour or two. And I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna get $20 worth tonight. So when I go to get my Moon Knight, I find out I had already put $100 gift card on my account last week. So I would have had like $200 on my PlayStation account.
Baller.
So I was like, all right, whatever. I guess I don't have to order that. So then I'm getting ready, like the Mortal Kombat Fortnite collab is about to come out, and it's like the middle of the afternoon, and I check my email, and I have an email from WB with a code for everything. And I'm like, oh, that's sick. So then now I just have like all those V-Bucks.
Just swimming in V-Bucks.
Just swimming in V-Bucks. And I ended up getting the whole. Not only did I get the Scorpion, Raiden, and Katana pack, they gave me like the new Lamborghini pack because it had like Mortal Kombat tires and a Scorpion and Sub-Zero like skin for it. So now I have a Lamborghini, which the cars in Fortnite are ridiculously expensive. So, but like that
Lamborghini Shock Blast.
Yeah. When I was growing up, a Lamborghini was like the thing, like that was the car. Like you wanted to have a Lambo. Like I don't know if that's the way it is today, but
I don't follow cars
me either.
Anymore. Like it's changed. It's changed a lot. I've heard. Yeah, the last time I was tapped into the car culture, everyone was all the rich people were on rich rappers were on Phantoms, or Bugatti. Yeah.
PlayStation did not give me a refund. The website, I go through a website called Aniba, and I always go through them because like I usually can find the $100 gift cards on sale for like $85. So it's like, ooh, do I want $15 for free, or do I want to just pay an extra $15? So that's kind of how I do it.
Fair. So yes. So the other thing we found out about there was brief concern about this, but we found out for sure that this next Rocksteady game is not going to be PlayStation exclusive. There was a report from Nick from Xbox Era Podcast that Sony was sniffing around trying to nab some exclusivity, but it's going to be multi-platform, and it will be in Unreal Engine 5. And we don't know what direction they're going to go story wise. Obviously, there are a lot of people who want Batman Beyond. There are a lot of people who want them to basically retcon Suicide Squad.
I don't think they're going to do Batman Beyond. I think they're going to do the absolute safest game they can make for Batman.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to. I feel like they're not even going to do like an Arkham Knight sequel. I feel like they're going to do like a game that takes place before the events of Arkham Knight or something. Like I think they're going to be extremely safe with this one, because the Rocksteady they've seen the closures all around them. Like they know nobody's safe. So I can't imagine that they're going to take any unnecessary risks with this next Batman game. Could be to their detriment, but we definitely know. I'm expecting no shenanigans here. They're gonna make as vanilla of a Batman game as possible.
I don't know if it'll be
emphasis on vanilla.
I don't know if it'll be vanilla. I think we're gonna see all the big hitters. I think it's gonna be a reboot. I mean, if they're using Unreal, there might be a
it's weird they've never used Unreal 5. Yeah, obviously because it's been so long, like in between games. Like Arkham Knight used Unreal 3, which is insane, you know, what how good it looks. And then but for Suicide Squad, they used Unreal 4. They didn't even use 5 for that one. And now this is the first time they're going to be using Unreal 5 on their Arkham games. It should be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not Batman Ninja. I don't, and as much as I would love a Batman Ninja game, but yeah. I don't think that's safe either. You know, I think we're gonna see maybe a reboot altogether. Like we're gonna get out of the Arkham storyline. It's just gonna be a new Batman series featuring Batman
with probably Roger Craig Smith voicing.
Yeah, and I think they do that so that we can go back to, you're gonna have the murderer's row of the Joker and Penguin and Harley and all of that. You know, I think we're gonna get back to that.
Might even be a DCU Batman game.
Could be. Yeah,
they did meet. You know, James Gunn did meet with them, so to talk about the future games.
Yeah, I think I think it's time. Yeah,
the original had a pretty good. Yeah, they kind of resolved it. Like they had their trilogy. Like, yeah,
right. And Suicide Squad. Yeah, just a full blown reboot. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna have a new voice actor. Obviously we can't go back, and it's not like he was like that different. They were that different or anything, but you're not gonna get Mark Hamill. I don't think. I think he's really truly done for now.
Yeah, I think he said he's literally done without Conroy. He's not doing it anymore.
Yeah, so I think now is the time to just reboot and start over.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be good for them. I really do feel like I feel like Batman's just their bread and butter. Would it be nice? I'm not really a big Batman Beyond guy. I didn't really grow up with it or watch it a lot or anything. So would it be cool to do that? Sure, but I think you got to find a way to incorporate the Bat family more. Like I would love it if it was like Gotham Knights, but Batman. You know,
I feel like if you have Gotham Knights exactly the same, but you made Batman playable, it would have sold 20 million copies.
Oh yeah,
or at least 10.
Yeah. And it's wild because I think Cap Tay earlier was like, if you don't have those 4 playable in the next Batman game, it's an L. And it's like, well, they did that game, Yeah. Everybody was mad.
Yeah, but you got to be able to play Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like it would be really cool to incorporate all of them. I really think you just kind of throw everything. You go out with this is the start of the new Batman experience moving forward. The Arkham series was great. This is chapter 2, First we had Batman Arkham, and now this is just
this is a Batman Born Again.
Yeah, I mean, Batman Gotham Legacy or something like that, and then the next one is Batman Gotham whatever, you know what I mean? So like I know there's a lot of focus on obviously the first Arkham game was Asylum because that's where you played the most of the game at Arkham Asylum, and that made sense. And then it was Arkham City and Arkham Knight. So I feel like we've capped that,
Yeah.
And now there's just a great opportunity to just start fresh, start fresh with the actors, maybe even get somebody younger that is going to be able to be there through the whole thing. Because I don't know how old Roger Craig Smith is.
I'd be in his 50s.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's definitely not young. Well, we've Google.
He's 49.
There you go. I mean, and that's not that old, And I mean, you could probably get a good trilogy out of him, but
for sure,
So yeah, all right, that's not bad.
Yeah, so, I think it's reasonable. I think Roger will be all right for a while, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that's probably the better. Obviously, I would the better the idea they should have done was they should have made a Justice League game and a sequel to DC Universe Online. But maybe we'll get there eventually. But yeah, I think for the Batman Arkham series, I think a reboot definitely makes the absolute most sense because WB's trying to start up with a clean slate, hyper focus on these IPs. So in that spirit, it makes sense for them to reboot the Batman series so that it can pump out more, and more importantly, milk the Joker over and over again. Because the Hamill's Joker died, and now you have and people don't like the Suicide Squad Joker, so and they honestly don't want to be reminded of that game anyway. So yeah, just reboot, start fresh. Let Rocksteady. Rocksteady's got mostly new leadership. They still have one of the founding members, but Jamie and Sefton are gone, which I think is sneakily for the best. Like people are trying to use their exit to like say, oh, the game's going to be bad, but they're forgetting or don't know that it was they were already done with Batman. Like they were done. The whole reason we got Suicide Squad was because Jamie and Sefton didn't want to do any more Batman games or DC for that matter. Like after Arkham VR, they were done. They didn't want to do it anymore. They wanted to do a puzzle game. Like they were going with a whole new genre. They had no interest.
Yeah.
But the opportunity was presented to them to do a Suicide Squad game, and they put it to a vote, and which was a mistake if they wanted to get that puzzle game made, because everyone thought that puzzle game was dog shit. so when they put it to a vote, they're like, no, let's do Suicide Squad.
Captain, you do not want to know about Condiment King. It is as bad as you as it sounds. So
Condiment King is no big wheel.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but like they could WB Games could turn everything around real fast. Okay,
they could.
You put out the next Lego game, I think it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yep.
You're going to put out Injustice 3, it's going to sell like hotcakes.
Yep. Wolf Among Us 2.
I mean, then you're going to get to Batman whatever,
Rocksteady Batman,
and that's going to do well.
Yeah,
and sure. Then you just got to start, keep pumping out the Fortnite characters, take that Fortnite blood money.
Yep.
And and then put out license out some other characters,
And for fuck's sake, make a DCUO sequel. Like, what are we doing? Like this was like your biggest game of all. This is your biggest DC game of all time. It's still making money and has players 13 years later.
Yeah.
Like, how have you not done a sequel by now? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I know that MMOs, like the hope is for them to last forever, but like they were able to put out like pretty expensive DLC.
Yeah, 13 years is excessive. Like even while like update does like major updates and like actual major updates, like this is insane.
Yeah, I've tried going back to that game a few times and I just can't. But I would love if they did something kind of like Marvel Heroes, you know, like a DC Marvel Heroes game. They've never done anything really like that. Like, or even like a Ultimate Alliance,
yeah.
You know, I don't know, but just license some shit out, man. Like, I'm sure that there are studios that are like, man, we could make a pretty dope Superman game for you.
Especially if you make yourself easier to work with than Marvel, because the reason why a lot of people don't like working with Marvel is because not just the bureaucracy, but it's so freaking expensive to license with them. Like we almost didn't get Marvel Rivals because the NetEase CEO was like, bro, I'm tired of these fucking Disney fees, and was about to cancel Rivals. Fortunately he didn't, because that would have been a generational fumble. But EA basically got out of the Star Wars business because they're tired of those Disney damn licensing fees.
I gotta share this. NBA Sentinel, the Legends.
Are they back?
They're back, and you just got Sentineled.
EJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That is good.
That's fun. I'm glad that they're back. Yeah, it was insane how the whole world stopped. It felt like stopped to acknowledge when Sentinel was gone.
Their pinned tweet is quote tweeting Stephen A. Smith saying "R.I.P. Sentinel" with somebody with an oxygen mask waking up. Yeah.
Oh my god, the Stephen A. stuff is crazy.
I have not been following that.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's been funny. But it's fueled my hatred for LeBron even more. So so it's been good for me. Speaking of hatred, shout out to Grums. we had
oh my god, the Assassin's Creed team.
First of all, generational ratio on both Grums and Elon Musk. I mean, they're cope, like the extreme amount of cope that came out of that was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like not only like they got ratios so bad that Grums accused the Assassin's Creed Twitter page of buying likes.
I
missed
that part.
And then somebody took a screenshot of a Grums tweet and found out that he actually bought likes to try to boost it to dunk on Assassin's Creed Shadows, because the likes had went from like 40,000 to 9,000 with it. Like, so he must have bought the cheap ones that don't last. But there was also like a breaking story that someone did some investigative reporting on Grums, and I watched this guy's video, and talk about, I think this guy hates Grums more than Kendrick hates Drake.
Oh wow.
Like,
that is an analogy
without exaggeration. Like he had this cold ass line, some about it's like talk about like how hatred, it can be a good thing, because he said, my hatred made me focused, efficient, and able to get out all this information on Grums. I was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So some wild shit came out. So if you see people like talking about Debbie Chan and him starting a porn company with his mother's name. Yeah, like he was running a porn company, and he uses his mother to signed her up as a CEO. He, apparently he had an email address called Pretty Little Girl 16. And there's like some extreme potential evidence of tax fraud that the government would be very interested to see, as well as embezzlement of studio funds and the donations that he got to make his games. It's crazy.
Wow. I know that like Assassin's Creed has been like saying 3 million players and whatever, but like I think people don't understand the other things they're saying, which is it's the second highest selling Assassin's Creed game week 1. You know, it's like the numbers are charting very well.
Yeah, it's the number one all time on the digital PlayStation Store.
So I mean, that's pretty good. You know what I mean?
It's doing great. Like they're so desperately trying to cope and say, "Oh, Steam," when it was revealed that 73% of the sales were on console,
which I always think is like the case, because most people play on console.
Yeah, they're these Steam players, and that's what they are. They're Steam players. They overvalue Steam and don't look at the fact that no, a lot of people play on console. There are some games that just don't translate to Steam. Like it just doesn't happen. Like they're talking about this new game that just came out that had like 190,000 concurrents on Steam, which is great, but it doesn't have more players than Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's only on Steam.
Right.
Like it's Assassin's Creed is spread out across. It's on Steam. It's on Ubisoft's Plus launcher. Epic, PlayStation, Xbox, and it's doing well. And Valhalla had the edge. Not only did it came out during the pandemic, but it was on PS4 and Xbox One, so it had an even bigger player base to work with. And it came out during the holidays, where people spend more money.
Right.
Yeah. So
I do think it's kind of. I lost my train of thought there. I was gonna say you can keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. No. The news that came out after apart from the 3 million is that the rumors about that business deal with the Tencent went through.
Yeah.
So basically, this is like a corporate trick. They created a separate entity and put their most valuable IP in that entity and gave Tencent, I think, like a 25% stake in there. That way they have like a clean entity over here where they can focus their IP on. Tencent will have a say. And then over here, they'll, where the bloat is, what will probably happen is they'll have layoffs, but they'll, because the size of the company is obviously not sustainable.
Right.
So they'll have probably some targeted layoffs and like kind of hyper focus on like a handful of IPs to try to get them going, like a Division, stuff like that, Splinter Cell, and try to get back to being a bit more leaner and getting out games that are safer bets. I'd say.
Cloud, is this out yet? Did I miss that? I'm not as interested in it because it's not like the feudal Japan. Did I really
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I didn't realize it was already out. If I missed the Steelbook, I'll be mad.
It's at a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, it's not out until April 15th, it
says release date March 18, 2025 on my end here.
Maybe it released early on digital.
Yeah. I forgot about it. I'm definitely looking forward to the Devil May Cry, the new Devil May Cry anime on Netflix, as well as a new season of Black Mirror. I'm definitely locked in for that. But I completely forgot about that movie.
Oh, it came out on Crunchyroll?
Oh, shout out to Crunchyroll. But yeah, I got way too much anime on Crunchyroll. I didn't even see it. Cape Crusader season 1, season 2. I watched like the first. I think I watched the first episode of Cape Crusader. I didn't really like it.
I don't know that there is a steelbook for it, which is unfortunate.
Jay loves the Silvers. Devil May Cry. Yep. Devil May Cry. Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, a while ago, Netflix announced like a bunch of new animated projects. One of them was the Tomb Raider, which was ass, and the other one of the other ones was Devil May Cry, which I'll definitely check out. Hopefully, I doubt it'll be as good as the original Devil May Cry anime, but I'm hoping this one is better than Tomb Raider, at least in terms of the animation at the bare minimum. But I'm always excited for more Devil May Cry content.
I've played 1 or 2 of those games. I'm not like the biggest fan. I did see that
How dare you?
Evanescence did a song for it.
Oh, for the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Evanescence. Yeah, I know who they are.
I at PAX East one year, I went to Xavier Woods did a panel, and he like had a debate with one of the dudes like which song was more iconic and well known. It was Evanescence, Bring Me to Life, or who's that fucking Back in Black, AC/DC,
Old Man Rock.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's clearly AC/DC.
Yeah, it was really cool because he's like, I want to play it because it's actually really cool, but I don't. But it's obviously gonna get. I mean, I guess we're not really monetized or whatever, but
we're monetized. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I don't know if we want to get a copyright, but like, basically, he's like, all right, watch this. I don't know if you guys heard this, and then it gets to the chorus of the song, and literally the whole room just like stands up and starts singing along with them.
Yeah. No, I was my friend introduced me to the white music when we were on a trip to New York. We usually hop on the Greyhound and take a ride to New York, hang out, party, do some shopping. And on the way up, he had his iPod, that's when iPods were new. Yeah. And he was like, and he let me borrow it because he was like, oh, you got to check out some of this stuff, and I looked at his playlist. I was like, the fuck, Linkin Park, I'm like, bro, what have you listened to? Bro, where's the Jay-Z? Where's the Nas? What's happening? But I think the first song I listened to was Bring Me to Life. and My Immortal, and I was like, I was unfamiliar with your game. Then I ended up listening to Hybrid Theory, and that started me down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was never really into Evanescence, but I obviously like that song. But the funny part is the guy that sings on that song, Bring Me to Life, was in a band called 12 Stone, and like they had like one like decent hit and then like never did anything. Yeah, but like everybody knows his voice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like absolutely iconic. They got that. You listen to 9 Inch Nails with some kids in the car. It told you it was white people. I mean, it technically is, but as someone who became a music producer, and was in various bands, including a psychedelic rock band and an experimental electronic band, I've come to appreciate all different types of music, and I found that separating it by race is just sacrilege. Music is sacred, is beautiful, and you should listen to music purely for the sake of the art, regardless of the race or gender of who is behind it. Because some of my favorite songs I would have never heard if I had stuck to hip hop and R&B.
We got Sadot into Kill Switch Engage this year. That was a highlight of my year.
yeah. I definitely valid. I have some Kill Switch Engage on the playlist. They made the playlist. I have a big my playlist is probably nearing 2,000 songs by now, but it's like all my favorite stuff that I've come across. And Jay made it. I think I have like 4 Kill Switch Engage songs on there.
Nice. I don't know how it'll show, but here's my oops.
I think the highlight was the highlight of last few years was definitely Jay becoming a Kendrick Lamar stan.
Oh yeah. You got GNX there. You can see all the
yep.
Oh, and then we got the Joe Hendry song.
I see. Damn.
Yeah. No, there's a band. So this guy Cornell that he works for he used to be with 2K, but now he's directly with the company, the studio that makes WWE 2K. He's been like going on and on about this band called Sleep Token, and apparently it's just one guy that plays everything. And I had never really heard of them. Like I used to be so in touch with like rock and metal and all that, and I never heard of them before. And I started listening to them because of him. Like I'm like, all right, let me check this band out. Like, okay, they're pretty cool. I like what they're doing. They're kind of like a little bit of a poppier Opeth, which means nothing to you because Opeth is like death metal kind of. But like it's very accessible. So come to find out, they just announced a new tour, announced/sold out their whole tour. And I was like, oh, they're gonna play at the Palladium. No, they're playing arenas. And yeah, they sold out like because Cornell was trying to get tickets in Orlando at the arena the Magic play in, and it sold out. Like
Jesus.
I was like, damn.
They call it Sleep Token?
Yeah, I'm like, I have not heard of these guys.
Sick, awesome mask.
Yeah, that dude, like he plays everything.
Bro's definitely aura farming. like an anime character.
Yeah. So I guess he gets like touring musicians to play with him and everything, but like I mean it's good stuff. It's like it's not like it's pretty melodic and
that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, so you might like it.
Meteor was nice, but I bought Hybrid Theory twice.
Yeah. I was never a big Linkin Park fan.
I became a big Linkin Park fan. I like their new stuff as well. The new singer they have, but yeah, I definitely got into them later on in life and was absolutely devastated when we lost Chester.
Yeah, that was a weird run because it was him and Cornell, and like it was just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it completely caught me off guard. Like,
I got to a point where I started kind of trending away from like the more mainstream type of stuff. Even though like it's funny because like when I think of like Linkin Park, I think of how like Limp Bizkit was huge at the time too, and like Limp Bizkit, the song Nookie. I actually almost went to their music video for that. They filmed that in Boston and they did it like super. It's actually a really crazy story. They said, yeah, we're filming a video in Boston. We'll tell you where we are a half hour before it starts, and you just got to get there. So they were literally
irresponsible.
Yes, it was not a good idea. They literally, I almost drove to. I didn't know where they were going to be, and it was like 90. It was either 99 or 2000. So like, I was still pretty young as a driver. I didn't drive in Boston much. I was like, man, I want to just go out there and be there. And I wish I did because the place they did it was at a garage across the street from Fenway Park, and that's like one of the few places I knew how to get to at the time in Boston. And like basically like I shit you not, like 2,000 people showed up and it was on the roof of a garage in Boston, and like it was the cops showed up and shut it down, and like they like snuck out a window, and like it was pretty crazy. They thought they were gonna get arrested.
It
was actually a pretty crazy story.
It's actually embarrassing how popular Limp Bizkit used to be.
Yeah. I mean, they had some okay songs. It's actually funny. Like, there's a band called the Acacia Strain, and they've done really well. Like, they're certainly not like like selling out arenas or anything, but like they've done really well.
Nookie was always a horrible song.
Yeah.
The only song I liked from them was My Way.
Well, I actually like their cover of George Michael's Faith, but they're from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'll never forget that the Acacia Strain is from up here, and I knew them, and they played a show. And whenever they played in Jacksonville, they would stay with me, and we were driving back to my place, and it clicked as we were going over the bridge. It was the Matthews Bridge, and
the Dave Matthews Bridge.
No, it was just called the Matthews Bridge, but in the Limp Bizkit song "Rollin'," it starts off with John Otto, take him to the Matthews Bridge, and then it's keep rolling, rolling, rolling. That was the Undertaker song for a while. Anyway,
it was,
but
and it made me mad.
but as we were going over the bridge, it like clicked in my head. I never thought of it before, and I was like, dude, guys, this is the bridge from Rollin'. And like, I don't know, it was pretty funny.
That I can't. Side note, that was definitely negative aura when Undertaker was walking out. So let's Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
that was not the move, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know. I started getting into more true metal. I just got like the sickest thing from the Machine Head put out like a whiskey, and it came in like this like box that with like lights on it, and they have a song called Davidian, and like it's one of their first big songs, and the chorus is "Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast," and the whiskey is in an actual glass shotgun.
Oh, nice!
And it's pretty sick.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. So
now, so we absolutely have to talk about the legendary chair stream. And no, it's not from Hassan. It was from Marvel. I was a witness. I was there. I saw what was happening on Twitter, and I just booted up my OBS and went live, and 9,000 people watched me watch a fucking chair for 4 hours. The total runtime of this Marvel stream announcing the cast for Doomsday ran for 5 hours, and Jay, the the views on this thing absolutely insane.
I thought about going live, but like I was doing other things, so I'm just gonna hang out with other people and just watch it.
I saw the opportunity and was like, yeah, I'm definitely hopping on this. This is crazy. 275 million views on this live stream of chairs. Like it was literally chairs. Except at the end when Robert Downey Jr. showed up. But yeah, we had all these narratives about how interest in Marvel is dwindled and superhero fatigue. We had, of course, Brave New World bomb at the box office, and then we see 275 million people watch this chair stream, and it was lit the whole time. Like it was a lot of fun. Obviously, a lot of conversation about who was chosen. It definitely shed some light. One thing I was trying to make people understand is that this obviously is not everyone who's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Right. Like that's not happening. It feels like they were just trying to give you enough names to get hype and want to go see it. But this is, first of all, Avengers Doomsday is part 1 of 2. Part 2 is basically Infinity War, and Endgame, and their Endgame is Secret Wars. So if your favorite character is not in Doomsday, they'll probably be in Secret Wars, except for the Eternals. They're like, that's not happening. But they announced like does anyone really believe that Doctor Strange is going to be in this or Spider-Man? Like, come on, we know they're going to be in it, but they got to have some surprises. So, and I actually think this was smart the way who they revealed. Obviously they lean heavily into nostalgia by having a bunch of Fox X-Men people, including obviously Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, who are both 150 years old respectively. But I hope the one thing I hope is that they don't kill off Patrick Stewart again. Like I'm kind of tired of seeing him die on screen. Like it's getting like actually sick at this point. How they just keep wheeling him in just to kill him.
I'm interested to see how they're going to handle all that. I mean, obviously we got the announcement of lots of the classic X-Men characters. I actually thought it was crazy that Alan Cumming was on the list.
Yeah, I was expecting like Hugh Jackman. That wouldn't have been a surprise. I thought when I saw Patrick Stewart, I was like, obviously, and I thought there was going to be Hugh Jackman, but I was not expecting. They even had Rebecca Romaine. They had, they brought in Marston, Cyclops. I was like, oh my god, they're actually going for it. Like,
yeah, so it'll be very interesting. I really do hope that we're like it's gonna set up some kind of a reboot of those characters. Channing Tatum though getting another shot,
Gambit. Yeah, I saw that Ryan Reynolds was talking about how Marvel, because of Deadpool and Wolverine, were actually legitimately interested in doing more stuff with Channing Tatum's Gambit, and we're seeing it here. So I'm for it. I thought he was funny. That's Gambit, but going forward, I definitely want them to have hit the reset button. Obviously, there was some controversy. People were upset that there weren't as many women as they were hoping to see in the cast reveal. And I was like, I'm actually glad they didn't feel the need to like aggressively pander, like just like they already had like a couple reveals of names that were just like, yeah, no one cares about this character. Like I don't care about Namor. I was not excited. Like I didn't expect them to have like all the Thunderbolts except for Taskmaster. I thought I had to look up the actress who plays Ghost because I didn't even recognize her name.
Yeah, when her name went up, I was like, oh wait, I think that's Ghost, but I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I checked out and I was like, and I was reminded how incredibly hot she is, which they go out of their way to not show in the film. Yeah. But yeah, they had everyone but Taskmaster. I thought they were just going to have. I knew they were going to have Winter Soldier. I thought if they were going to do Thunderbolts, they would just like kind of stick to Winter Soldier and Yelena. I was not expecting everyone but Taskmaster, and plus the Sentry, which implies that Taskmaster isn't making it out of Thunderbolts alive,
which would be great.
Yeah, hopefully we get the actual Taskmaster.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, she could still get out of it because she could be part of the group that isn't listed.
Yeah, for sure. But would anyone like I assume the people who aren't listed, if you look at them, are like the bigger names that they want to be a surprise, they want to have later on to promote the movie. Like I don't think including Taskmaster is going to be like the missing names include like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, like no Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. Like no one, anyone might try to see Taskmaster.
I really just feel like you gotta save stuff for the movie, man. We all love it when like people show up,
Yeah, it's always like that was one of the best parts of Deadpool and Wolverine. I avoided all the spoilers. So when Wesley Snipes and Jennifer Garner walked out, it was genuinely like a hype moment. I was looking forward to
it. I did not know about it, and that was an experience. I love it when you have those experiences. And one of the things I've always criticized Marvel for is like showing way too much. Like I feel like I've already seen the Thunderbolts.
There's basically no surprise. They did the same thing with Multiverse of Madness. Like they even spoiled the Professor Xavier cameo in the promo material. They were so desperate to get people to see this movie. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's okay to lose the mystery. Like they honestly could have just stopped at like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen or in Beast. Like could have just ended it there and like saved the rest as a surprise. But now at least now I think they're trying to play a little more safe because they definitely need Secret Wars to do really well.
Yeah, I mean I think it will. I think it's the Avengers experience, and I think the Avengers are the main team, they're the A team, and
but what is
throw that up there, it'll sell.
But what is the A team though? Because that was the other problem. Like, and it kind of shows how kind of the state of Marvel after Endgame. Because the reason why that first Avengers movie was so special, not just because it was good, but because they like patiently build up to it. You were introduced to the Hulk, you're introduced to Iron Man obviously kickstarted it all. You had Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye. You learn Nick Fury. You're meeting all these characters across all these different movies, and then you find out that we're going to team them all up into one movie, and like, oh, that's awesome. But now you hear this new Avengers movie, and like, well, who the fuck are even the Avengers? we found like people were a lot of people were reminded in Brave New World, a few people who saw it, that technically the Avengers in universe are disbanded. Like they all went their separate ways. So it's like who even is the official team? Like if they're going to assemble, like everything's so scattered, and we saw it in the chair stream. You had Thor, okay, OG member of the team, but there was no Hulks at all. You had Captain African American Falcon, and the new Falcon, and who no one cares about, and Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, but it's like
was Simone Liu's name there?
Yeah, Simone Liu was there. Yeah, so it was basically like scattered Avengers,
well, he's not even actually technically an Avenger yet.
He's not even an Avenger yet. Like he was meeting with them, but but we're assuming, like, we heard that he's going to be part of the Avengers. But yeah, there was no Strange. Yeah, it was Thor. It was Thor, Sam, and Scott. But there was no Wasp or anything. And then you had the Thunderbolts minus Taskmaster.
No Happy.
Yeah.
How can the Avengers without Happy?
No Happy. They had the Fantastic Four and those X-Men cameos, and then they had some people from the Wakanda movies. They had Shuri, Namor, and M'Baku.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't have to have everybody in the first movie, but because there's going to be two. But I don't know, man. I just think this is a great chance just to reboot everything, figure out who's all in, figure out who is really done. I don't know. I just kind of restart. I saw something about Chris Evans wanting to play somebody else. Like, I thought you were done, bro.
Well, so here's what happened. And this is what happened with Robert Downey Jr. Like I heard, at least I heard Chris Evans seemed like a somewhat valid reason. He says he suffers from anxiety. He it's a lot of work to because they forced him to get in insane shape to play Captain America, and he wanted to like kind of walk away from it all a little bit. Obviously he came back for Deadpool and Wolverine because it was fun for him to do a Human Torch. But Robert Downey Jr. on the other hand, I think he just was missing those Marvel checks. I mean, after he left as Tony, he had a couple huge box office flops up until he got to Oppenheimer, but he tried to carry Doolittle, and that didn't work out for him, and so Marvel came knocking and said, "Hey, here's $40 million." He said, "I'm back." Like, so I think actors who maybe wanted to stretch their wings, after they got all that Marvel clout, if their post Marvel career didn't exactly go where they wanted, they could walk back in for another payday.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that people like. I can understand where Chris Evans is coming from, because like staying in that shape is probably tough.
Definitely tough.
But at the same time, man, I don't know. Like, I never understood there were people like, oh, I want to do something more fulfilling. It's like, bitch,
it sounded like to
Captain
him,
fucking America.
It sounded like to him it wasn't even like that. It was just like he felt he was. I remember his interview. He was talking about like the extreme anxiety he feels, and it was just like it was like mentally hurting him to to do it.
And that, I get it, but how do I do it? Lots of milk,
just like Homelander.
Yeah.
It's weird. I appreciate whenever those actors do get in great shape. It must annoy the fuck out of them when other people just don't bother. like they get into like the most insane shape, and then people just come in with a suit or just looking regular. Talk about the other Marvel day. So I'm not a Nintendo person. I don't cover Nintendo on my channel. I don't own a Switch. I don't intend to own a Switch. But I did hear, I had somebody just kept commenting on all my videos about this new Marvel game. And I remember I was watching Jeff Grubb's pod. He was talking about Nintendo. He mentioned something about a Marvel game. It's basically like the arcade style, in the style of that Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Same people that did it.
Same people. They just basically made a Marvel equivalent of it.
Yeah. I think it's on all platforms though.
Yeah. They announced it at the Nintendo Direct, so I was like not paying any attention to Nintendo. I just don't care.
Yeah, I do feel like it's going to be. I think it's being released everywhere, kind of like. But very interesting roster, and that's only like half of it. I was very shocked to see Mullet Nova. That is very. I feel like this is gonna be a very '90s roster.
Yeah.
Like people have been asking me, "Oh, have you not seen this, Gabe?" Hold on.
I honestly don't like the visuals. I like the original. If you remember the X-Men arcade from back in the day, I love that game. But I don't know, the visuals on this one definitely look a little too Nintendo for my taste.
Let's do this.
Like the characters are kind of very chibi like, and it doesn't quite do it for me. But it looks fun for what it is.
Since Gabe hasn't seen it, wait. Browser can't access.
X-Men. I spent a small fortune in quarters on X-Men Arcade. I absolutely love that game. I think I played that and the Simpsons Arcade the most. That though my big three arcades were X-Men Arcade, The Simpsons, and Time Crisis 2. Those are my goats. If any establishment had any of those, I'm playing them immediately. I don't care what's happening. Also, Alliance 3 was good. They definitely need to hurry up and make it Ultimate Alliance 4, but obviously don't just put it on Switch.
I do not understand. The browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues.
Skill issue.
I feel like I've run into this before, but I don't know what I did. Oh wait, hold on. Let's try this. Okay, there we go. So this looks fun to me. I mean,
yeah, that looks fun. I just don't love the visuals.
I feel like it's supposed to be like a 90s cartoon.
Yeah, I don't love the in-game visuals, the actual gameplay visuals. This looks great, but the actual gameplay, I don't like those visuals. The character models. Jay, this is the part of the trailer where Jay immediately had an orgasm. That looks like a good time with friends.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty dope roster. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
So you've got Venom, you got Captain America, Storm, you got Spider-Man, you got Wolverine, Nova, and Phyla-Vell as Quasar. That is a choice. And then obviously the main villain is Annihilus, and this is obviously another opportunity for me to say read Annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Annihilus is like the main bad guy in Annihilation, and I feel like there's a huge Bill Roseman.
This is true. I said no to bullying though.
Wait, what did he say?
He pointed out that I could have gotten the other kids to give me quarters if I wanted if I wanted to. Because I was usually the tallest person in class.
But like that is a very I feel the Bill Roseman influence on that one, because Bill Roseman actually worked on Annihilation. His name is in the credits, you know. So I think, you know, that's 7 of the 8 characters that we're gonna get in this game, or 15, I should say. So there's 8 more characters to go. There's actually a legitimate possibility they could do Darkhawk. I don't think they will, but
Dark Wolf.
Yeah, Dark.
Talk to her.
So, he was part of Annihilation. I don't know how. I feel like I feel like we're definitely gonna get Human Torch, because Human Torch and Annihilate. Like if Nova is probably Annihilus is like number 1 rival at this point, I would say Human Torch is number 2. And I feel like you're definitely going to see Human Torch for sure.
I feel like they could have also just done Ultimate Alliance 4.
Yeah, but this is just another, like, I think Marvel loves doing all these different games. That's why we got Midnight Suns. That's why we've got Marvel Rivals. You know, they just like having these different things. And there's just a chance. I mean, I actually met with the Don't Nod guys for Ninja Turtles at PAX East a couple years ago. So I'm kind of hoping they're at PAX East again this year. I think this is cool, man. But it's not gonna be something that changes the world or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna be Marvel's Wolverine.
This is just gonna be a fun beat 'em up side scroller game.
Yeah.
You know, probably want to play it a couple times. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward. I feel like somebody had asked me the other day who I thought they would add, and I kind of feel like the 90s is what they're going with. That's why they went with Mullet Nova. Not my favorite look for him, but it's still cool. I was shocked to see him there, and obviously Phyla-Vell. I don't know if you remember at the end of Avengers, or I'm not Avengers. At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there's the little girl with the gray hair.
Yeah,
that's Phyla-Vell, and her girlfriend is Moondragon, which is the daughter of Drax.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the way they've always been. So
it's coming out later this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though.
2025. No firm release date yet from what I've found, but yeah, hopefully we Marvel continues to put on the pressure. You know, they're definitely outputting a lot more than DC right now. Would love to hear a new DC license game at least. That'd be nice to get the ball rolling. But yeah, we're still waiting for some other Marvel game reveals this year. We're still waiting for the first Iron Man trailer. We're waiting for gameplay for Rise of Hydra because that's supposed to come out around the holidays or around December. So we're still trying to figure out when that's going to be. In the meantime, we'll probably look towards the next PlayStation showcase, I'd say, for some more stuff. That's supposed to be in May, which is around the corner. Like we're a couple days away from April.
Yeah.
And then right after, tax month, and then right after that is May. The end of May is supposed to be the next PlayStation event. It's rumored to be an actual showcase this time, and then we get into Summer Game Fest season. So it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be May.
Shout out to Jeff Grubb. He actually that's actually the meme he shared when he was proven right again, and absolutely iconic. I mean, I like probably one of the all-time standing on business. Like you think people will know by now not to doubt Jeff Grubb, but
right.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's May 5th. Oh, it's May 20th. Where is this?" And he's like, and he kept trying to tell. He gave up being polite about it and just started calling people fucking morons because they couldn't count the days in May. He said, guys, it's going to be in May. I don't have a exact release date yet. And every day that went by, they were like, I thought you said it was going to be in May. It's still May. You fucking idiot. So it was incredible when he got to rub that in their face.
Very interesting grain of salt post from 23 minutes ago.
From where?
From Gaming Leaks and Rumors.
Ooh.
Ghost of Yote is releasing July of 2025.
Ooh.
That would be I mean, it's listed as grain of salt. It says according to two sources close to Detective Seeds. Just for clarification, there are two people giving info. One said mid to late August, but has missed a bit, and one said late July, but has been spot on with info.
Well, that actually makes sense. Timeline wise, a lot of game studios are trying to release, not trying to get out into the fall, winter, because they're trying to dodge GTA 6.
Yeah,
and them announcing Ghost of Yote coming in 2025. That makes sense, especially if you have your PlayStation showcase at the end of May. Have like an extended look at Ghost of Yote, and then spend the next couple months, spend all of June and going into July or whatever it ends up being, promote, building up the hype, getting the pre-order numbers up, and all that good stuff. I cannot wait for after playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm ready for more. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing all the anti-woke weirdos get humbled again.
No, it's a girl.
Oh,
I am very much looking forward to the game. We got a big a big guy back there, Jin Sakai, but
yeah, because there's definitely scratched a similar itch, but yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima, definitely had definitely more refined combat and mechanics. You could do stealth, as well. I'm looking forward to the dual blades in this new one. We got a wolf buddy this time around. I can't wait to see how they've improved the game, gameplay wise. The one thing I wanted more of in Ghost of Tsushima was a little better traversal mechanics, because love getting around a horse, but when it came to like climbing and all that other stuff, it got a little slow. I wanted something a little more mobile. Like one of the cool things, games, I'm not sure if it'll be out this year, but Where Winds Meet, basically China's answer to Ghost of Tsushima. They went like wild with the traversal. You can literally just fly in that game. But yeah, I want to have at least, I want to have a little more cool movement options that they can, like even if it's like something like a glider or something. It'd just be cool. I want a little something extra, at least faster climbing or something, because it was a little sluggish getting around. But otherwise, I can't wait to play it. I think it's going to be another masterpiece, and Sucker Punch, they do not miss.
No, and it's just unfortunate that like Shadows has to live in the shadow of Ghost of Tsushima, because like it's such a great game on its own. It's just they have different settings. It's obviously not as good as Ghost of Tsushima, but I don't know.
So for sure, like I have no I really enjoy Shadows. I love it a lot, but yeah, it's definitely mechanically, for sure, it's definitely not a better game than Ghost of Tsushima. I thought Ghost of Tsushima had a much more refined gameplay. They did a much better job with the difficulty. It can be challenging. It could be extremely challenging if you wanted to be, and it's very rewarding when you actually get good at Ghost of Tsushima. I thought they did it. I thought it was perfection. That was a masterpiece, especially the multiplayer mode. But I do hear Assassin's Creed Shadows is adding co-op in addition to having DLC story expansion. So yeah,
Interesting.
It's going to be. You're going to be hearing a lot of Shadows for a while. So it'll definitely hold us over until we get to Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, we do cover all the Marvel things. Ty, welcome.
Jay actually hates all things superheroes.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. Speaking of, we gotta talk about Daredevil Born Again. I managed to actually do my watch party this time, and I absolutely loved episode 5 and 6. I think they're the best episodes so far. Though I was surprised at how aggressive they were in promoting Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I love that actually.
Yeah,
having her dad be in there.
Yeah, he was great, and I'm definitely all for Iman Vellani. She's great.
Yeah, here's my thing. Okay, episode 5 is great. I liked it a lot. Episode 5 is the type of episode you have in like an Arrow or an Agents of Shield season, where there's like 25 episodes. Okay, having it as a filler episode in an 8-episode season is rough. Like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't feel like it moved the needle enough, like story wise, and where we have such a limited amount to work. Like, I just want them to make the most out of the episodes we have. It's fine. Like, I like the episode. It was a fun episode, but we get an episode 6, and that's where it gets juicy.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because obviously they're not going to do it. There's not going to be a Miss Marvel team up in this,
right?
So it definitely felt very much like I was saying in the chat while doing the live stream, that this felt like it could either be a Daredevil Born Again or episode of Miss Marvel, with special guest Daredevil,
right?
Because like it does, like it was entirely centered on this, the situation in the bank with Kamala's dad, Obviously, they teased the Young Avengers project. Talked a lot about Miss Marvel, but yeah, it didn't really. The only thing it like brought over from like previous episodes was the fact that he was looking for your funding for the firm. They need to get some liquid, some cash flow going. And I'm mad that Kamal's dad didn't hook this motherfucker up. like okay,
well, he doesn't know he's Daredevil,
but he knows something.
I got you.
Like it was one thing. Okay, you bought. He sat there and listened to you yap about your daughter, and he's a blind guy. He's got great values, but you're like, okay, well, nothing I can do. Fine. He leaves. Then he comes back and saves your life from bank robber from the bank robbers who are about to shoot you in the head, and he returned the piece of jewelry that you stole. You couldn't slide him something. You couldn't slide him something.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see where we go here. I like what they're doing with Muse. I like that's the episode we were waiting for, and now we're gonna get the suit back.
Yes.
And we've even actually seen pictures of him filming with a black suit.
Yeah.
So I think they took too long to get him there. When there's only 8 seasons or 8 episodes, you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the problems that they've had. And I think this is where you could tell the reshoot stuff kind of came into play. I feel like episode 5 is the type of thing they were going for the whole time.
Yeah.
And they just kept that episode. You know what I mean?
Because it was so good, and it promotes another project.
Yeah. So like, and again, I don't have a problem with episode 5, but like preferably you would have that in a season that can afford to have
at least 13 episodes, at least 13,
a filler episode here or there, and that is exactly what that was. That was a filler episode
for sure.
Sure, it had a couple little itty bitty things that like moved the needle a little bit, but that was a filler episode.
Yeah, and it set some stuff up for future episodes and seasons. But yeah, for sure, overall, it was mainly there like kind of a standalone like episode. Like you could watch that episode. You could watch the episode having not seen the previous episodes and not really be lost.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could definitely see where that came in, but I thought I'm curious to see where they're going with Muse, because Muse is definitely different from the comics. Obviously, this is more grounded take, so he doesn't have his superpowers here. But I'm wondering after the colossal ass beating he got handed, where they go from there.
He didn't have prep time.
Not enough. He was not ready for Matt to come to his door throwing hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Muse, to be honest with you. So
he's not a A-list villain, but yeah, I looked him up when I found out about him being in the season. He's got, in the comics he has like superpowers, like, but and here he's just regular serial killer, that loves graffiti. Yeah. So it is what it is. You love Meteor Seafood. Nice. Then this X-Men versus Avengers movie. It sounds kind of gimmicky. I wouldn't really be interested in it. That definitely sounds like something they'd make if they were just running out of ideas.
Yeah, it'll. I'm definitely I all in on Daredevil. I think this has been by far the best Disney Plus project.
Not that that's saying much.
I know. I paused because I know the bar is low, but
yeah, they've had a few. Yeah, for my count, like the best of Disney Plus has been, like, in terms of like their Marvel Star Wars offerings, has been Daredevil Born Again, X-Men 97, Werewolf by Night, and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Then it starts getting a little shady because Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are really good. Season 3, not so much.
I mostly meant Marvel, Disney Plus. I wasn't including.
But yeah, in general, like the overall offering, I think that's contributed to the low ratings as well. Like the overall offering of Disney Plus shows has been really low, especially for Marvel and Star Wars fans. Like the Marvel projects, like for me, like Werewolf by Night was a masterpiece. X-Men 97, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Agatha Long was surprisingly decent, but yeah, a lot of the main problem with the Disney Plus stuff for Marvel is that the inconsistency. Like WandaVision started out amazing and then fell off a cliff. Falcon and Winter Soldier had some good ideas, but it was a lot of messy. Again, didn't stick to landing. Moon Knight was half. First episode or two were pretty good. Then it just was absolute dog shit afterwards. It's like, obviously Secret Invasion was a crime against humanity. Like they just were having a really hard time with quality through all this. So it's nice to see a show that's actually not only just good, but it gets better week by week.
Yeah. And I just cannot emphasize enough how much I appreciate them being on location.
Yes.
Because
the CGI, like the other thing I didn't like, only other thing I didn't like about the new episodes, like episode 6 was a great episode, but had some really sketchy CGI. Like before, I was just cool, I was just fine, but and that was the first episode where I was like, ooh, that's rough. like Matt running across when he was running to Muse, moving across the roof in his suit. I was like, yeah, and I immediately was like, oof, that looks bad. But the fight was good. When he got there, it was good, but the trip there was a little sketchy. Not gonna lie, I was not feeling it. I was not feeling that CGI. That was a little rough. I think they should definitely try to stick to practical effects as much as they can.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that makes a huge difference. Like you can just see the difference that it makes.
Yeah, like not shooting the entire thing in their sound studio, behind a green screen, like definitely helps. Because a big part of the charm of the original of Netflix Daredevil was like that grittiness, like it felt more real. And it looked great, because to me, like CGI can look really good, but Marvel has definitely come to over rely on it, and to make matters worse, not give their designers like enough time to make it look right. Like they're overworking them. They're not giving them enough deadlines. Like that's been like a consistent problem for a while now. So you're not even getting the value of using the CGI.
Yeah, I kicked over my trash can. That's what all that was.
Classic Jay.
Yeah.
It's like playing Loki. Loki, a lot of people like Loki. I did not like Loki overall. I liked parts of Loki. More so, like I liked some of season 1, and I liked the end of season 2. But I felt like Loki could have been a much better show than it was. I thought they just made some extremely just avoidable mistakes with the character. Like I thought going in, this was like a great opportunity to like let Middleton cook. Like he's so good as Loki, and then love the relationship with Morbius, and it just felt like they wanted to spend too much time making him a joke. Like it was just it got old extremely fast.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Okay, the Avengers overwhelmed him. He got beat by Hulk. Cool. But he's still Loki. Like he was supposed to be like a global threat. Like he took over Shield like in a few minutes. Like he's supposed to be like a god, and then he like immediately gets his ass kicked by a mall cop. What are we doing?
Right.
There was just so much of Loki that I thought just was bad and didn't really make any sense and was definitely hurting the character. But so it was hard for me to get fully into it, but there was definitely some good stuff that they could have built on that kept it somewhat watchable. But yeah, I don't put that high as some of the other people do. Well, in terms of the Disney Plus show hierarchy, I have that ranked fairly low. Relatively low. Like there was so much bad on Disney Plus. Like it got bad.
Yeah.
Like what if? Oh my god.
I had different expectations for it too. But I appreciate some of it for what it was.
I knew Kingpin was putting in some work, but seeing what he was up to while his knuckles were that was so good. Bro staying on business. I appreciate it. Representing this woman. All right, so yeah, Daredevil I think it's a single episode this week, right?
Say it again.
Is it a single episode? Jay's tapped out already. Daredevil Born Again episode 7.
Yeah, I can't keep up with when they do that.
They're just going to be 7. So
yeah, I was always surprised they did 2 episodes, but maybe it's because that filler one, they knew that they they couldn't just drop that one alone.
Yeah, that it definitely. If that was the only one, I think people had a different reaction
for sure.
So yeah, having the double episode definitely helped it out a lot. Currently, I'm curious where's the ratings at. Yeah, currently your ratings haven't moved on Rotten Tomato. 87% audience, 80% audience score, 87% critic score. Right now, so. And it debuted, the audience score was like over 90. So it's definitely come down a lot, while the critic score has actually come up a lot, which has been funny, which has been weird, kind of weird to see. Like it started off like the critic score started out at like 78%, and people were crashing out, and the audience score was like 94, and then the audience score dropped to 80, and the critic score shot to 87. I'll those go to what's up, Porter? What's going on? But yeah, that's where the people are thinking. And also the other Disney project, Still White, came out. Did you see that?
No.
It's currently, according to IMDb, the worst movie in history.
Yeah, I bet it's not that, but I mean,
it's obviously they review bombed it.
I hate that shit. Like honestly, I don't see the point of review bombing. It's so stupid. It just.
It was the dumbest thing was like, because Paul Tassi made an article about it, and the grifters of course couldn't help themselves. Like they were, and like I saw a bunch of idiots in the comments trying to pretend like it wasn't like, oh, of course he's defending the movie. It was not review bombing. Like if you don't think that it got review bombed on IMDb, you're either a liar or you're stupid enough to follow Grumps. There's. Like it has 200,000 1-star reviews on IMDb. Like, come on,
that's not normal.
Well, clear, that's more than every movie released this year combined. Like what are we fucking talking about? But on Rotten Tomato, where you have to verify that you bought a ticket and saw the movie, it was at like 74.
I think it's weird, the dynamic of how like 2 different sides hate the people involved in the movie.
Yes,
like
equally.
Yeah, it's like there's the typical, losers crying about what's her name?
Rachel
Ziegler?
Yeah, Rachel Ziegler.
Crying about her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen some stuff she did in the press around this movie, and I thought she was pretty insufferable.
One of I like for obviously they didn't want her cast because race reasons, but yeah, I thought she put on a masterclass of how not to promote a movie.
Right. And then there's the other people that are going after Gal for
being Israeli.
Yeah. Which I don't get involved in that shit, man. But I will say this though. A lot of people talk about, it shouldn't matter race and everything, but whatever. I do think Snow White is kind of one of the very few characters that really does have to be white.
Yeah.
Because her name is Snow White, and she is described as having skin as white as snow. Okay.
Yeah, hard to get around that one.
It's kind of one of those things, and like I don't think like she doesn't look terrible for the part, but like I do kind of understand. There's one of the very rare. There's like that meme, the worst person you know made a good point or something like that. I just think that she was a very dreadful person, like, and I don't understand like some of the things that she said. Like, I don't understand how she thinks she's in a position to say these things,
because she's a narcissist. Like she's incredibly entitled. She obviously felt extremely safe and to say whatever she wanted because she didn't think she was gonna be like she literally like we went over this. She started souring on Disney with West Side Story. Like I remember she threw a tantrum because she wasn't invited to the Oscars, and so she made a big fuss about it on social media, making it about diversity. And not only did they give her an invitation, they let her present an award. Like so she thought she felt like very comfortable. But the problem is that with Snow White, all these live action Disney remakes are shameless cash grabs. Like that. Let's be 100% honest. Disney is trying to milk their audience with nostalgia. That's the only reason they're doing any of these live action. There's like, a bunch of people love these movies when they were kids. How about we go back to the well and milk and try to get some more out of that IP by making a live action remake, not a reimagine, not like a completely new movie that has elements or follow elements of it, like Cinderella story, 10 Things I Hate About You, did Othello. Yeah, there are movies, even Snow White and the Huntsman, like there are like reimaginings of these classic fairy tales that you could have done. That's not what they were trying to do here. They were just trying to remake old animated films in live action to milk Mormons out. Like they've already doing it on Moana, and that's not even that old. That's not even that's not even like old enough to be like a classic yet. But they're already here on doing it on Moana, and they're doing it for Lilo and Stitch as well. Like they're trying to milk this, and the worst thing you can do when you're trying to milk people with nostalgia is to shit all over their nostalgia.
100%. She's only been in 6 movies. That's crazy. And like I saw her like going off about how I better get compensated for every minute that gets streamed and this and that. I'm like, who are you in this industry to be the one trying to like that's pretty brazen. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand how she is very off-putting,
I'll blame. Actually, I didn't see Beauty and the Beast. I like Cruella. Like I think I think, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the movies that tend to do well, these live action remakes tended to try to be at least somewhat faithful, to the original. And the problem, and they just went the opposite direction. Like you obviously can take some liberties, because it's going in live action, but the whole point is to make these remakes feel familiar, and them deciding, oh, we're going to just shit all over it and kind of just do our own thing, but just hijack the name Snow White. That was doomed. They doomed it from the start. Like this was cooked. There was no chance this was going to do well, because at that point, that's why I understand how these people get in positions to make decisions. Like, who's the movie for at that point? Like you're proposing to make a live action remake of Snow White because you want people who grew up loving the original animated Snow White to come and watch it again in live action. So you decide that we're going to make this not only not make this anything like the original, we're going to we're going to let someone, the star, come out and shit all over the original, and you for liking it. Like, how did they think that was going to go?
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I don't know. It's baffling, and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the whole Gal Gadot part of it. Like, she is who she is. Like, I mean, she's from where she's from. Like, what she's supposed to do. Like,
that people get just extremely psychotic. What they wanted her to do was come out and say, free Palestine, Israel are terrorists, and all that good stuff. They wanted her to just come out and completely denounce her homeland and everything about it, and promote Palestine, which obviously she's not going to do, because her family's there. She's from there. She served in IDF, so obviously she has complicated feelings perhaps about it, but she doesn't hate where she's from. So as she shouldn't have to. But I don't think that was a significant. I think if Rachel Ziegler hadn't said what she said, the movie would have, and they hadn't obviously made a complete pile of shit, the movie would have done well, even with the Gal Gadot protest, because realistically no one actually cared. Like that was like a wedge issue. Like, there's like a small fringe group that's like extremely chronically online that are like frothing at the mouth over Gal Gadot's existence, but the majority don't give a shit. Like, they honestly don't. Like, they would have seen the movie, but the fact that Rachel Ziegler basically told them everything they need to know before seeing it, they were just like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna pass on it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
like her
acting, from what I hear, was the true terrorism.
I just don't. I will never understand people that let politics get in the way of actual relationships. You know what I mean? Like, imagine in, like, I don't know, it's just wild to me.
Yeah, I don't take it any of it that seriously, because it's honestly silly.
Yeah, that's why I just don't even bother.
Yeah, when I saw why people were mad at Gal Gadot, I was like, I don't care about any of this. This is not my concern with Gal Gadot was her horrific acting, and the fact that, I don't know, it felt weird to cast Gal Gadot as the evil witch, because her whole thing is that she was jealous of Snow White because of her beauty. And I mean, putting Gal Gadot side by side with Rachel Ziegler is like, conceptually, I was like, how's that going to work? Because yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't think she has any reason to be concerned about being the fairest in the land.
Right. The fairest in the land, exactly. You know, Snow White was the wrong one. It really, like, everything about her, you know,
yeah, it was
like goes back to, you know.
Yeah, I was like, this is a rough one, but they we'll see if they learn their lesson. But Disney definitely needs Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four to do well this year because yeah, Snow White completely bombed, so they need those. They need one of those two to do really well. Ideally both, and I think Thunderbolts will do decent. I'm unsure of Fantastic Four. I'm hoping Fantastic Four is big because I would love for the Fantastic Four to finally have like a legitimately great movie in the books, especially after Fan Four Stick. And I'm hoping the proximity to Superman creates like a Barbieheimer effect, where just a bunch of people just want to run and see them both.
Yeah,
which I definitely will.
Yeah, I'll definitely go see both of those and Thunderbolts in the theater. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I actually, even though it's a lot of Black Widow cast, I think I'm going to enjoy Thunderbolts a lot from what I've seen.
I do have to say one more thing. I see your girl's off the market.
Which one? I have many.
Good.
Megan Good.
Megan Good.
I mean, yeah, she's been she's been with Jonathan Majors like this whole time.
Yeah, but they just got married.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
I'm just saying. I know they were together, but like now, like they're together and they're married.
Yes, I know. I saw his Breakfast Club interview.
Yeah,
like crazy press run he's on. But yeah. Every black man under the age of 50 is very much aware of Megan Good's status at all times. Well, let's be very clear about that. we all are completely locked in when it comes to Megan Good. Like that's the one situation where we are a monolith. we are very aware. Good. We'll see how long it lasts. That's all I'll say about that. So, all right, we'll catch y'all next time. April is going to be lit, except unless you have to pay taxes, in which case it's going to be not so lit. But we got Marvel Rivals Season 2 dropping. We have a special meeting coming up as well, talking about all the good stuff. I'm not sure what major game is releasing in April, but Lost Soul Aside is coming out in May, and May is going to be the start of the Summer Game Fest season. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure there probably will be a state of play, because they said it was happening in spring. This will be for the Borderlands 4. They're having a dedicated state of play, so we probably get a state of play this month for all the Borderlands 4 enjoyers out there. And I'm definitely I'm tapped in. I'm in contact with the community manager, so I'll definitely check it out this time around. Appreciate everyone hanging out. It's always a blast. Appreciate all of you. We love you all. Thank you for wasting another Sunday with us. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I am not Casual Avenger.
He is not. Zip it up and zip it out. Peace, my nation.